Welcome to the afternoon session. Everyone is well fed and happy, and now you feel asleep, hopefully not. So I'm here, I'm Arnold. I'm from DKIX. You will also see later a presentation on DKIX, but now I give a presentation on PeeringDB update. So what is PeeringDB? For those who are new to SwiNOG, PeeringDB actually is a database where you find all the information you need for peering for interconnection. So what basically are the three ingredients you need for interconnection? If you have a network, of course you need an ASN. That's not all. You have to meet somewhere. These are the facilities which you have to know of. And then, of course, in the facilities, you find the internet exchanges. And this basically is what PeeringDB is all about. You find information about networks, facilities, and internet exchanges. And of course, for the networks, you also have the contact information. For the facilities, you have the information where the facilities are, and so on and so on. And this is all, everything is nicely fit together and stored in a database. PeeringDB is around, I guess, almost since 15 years. And 4 years ago, a couple of people decided that it needs an organization behind it, and this leads also to founding an association which is based in the US. Everyone become a member. It's quite easy. You only have to have a PeeringDB account and register to a certain mailing list. That's all. The board, of course, takes oversight of the PeeringDB itself, but the day-to-day work basically is done by 4 organizations, or 4, how we call it, committees. There is one, first of all, the admin committee, which more or less is the support department of PeeringDB. It takes care of all the requests. We currently have about 30 tickets per day we have to work on. We have a team of roughly 10 people who are taking care of it. And although all of the people who are working for PeeringDB do this on voluntary basis, we are able to resolve tickets within 6 hours, which is, I guess, quite good. Besides PeeringDB, for the admin committee, we have the ops committee who takes care of the infrastructure. Then the outreach committee, which does the presentation, takes care of the presentation, decides to which events to go. And what we also would like to do is, and the next time, to not only have presentation, but also workshops. Because PeeringDB does not only have a graphical user interface, it also has an API, and you get really most of it if you are able to use this API. Then, last but not least, and perhaps the most important one, is the product committee, which really takes care of the product development and takes care of the roadmap. So where does product committee get the information from? This is from you, from the users. So, of course, we also have some ideas which to do with PeeringDB, but the most important feature requests and bug reports come from the users. So if you have an idea what PeeringDB should do, please open up a Github issue, let us know, and we will take care of that. This is a little bit of statistics. The blue one shows tickets for PeeringDB 1.0, the more yellow one, when we spawned PeeringDB 2.0 in 2016. As you can see, the usage of PeeringDB sparked a lot, and as said, currently we are doing 30 tickets per day. Does PeeringDB cost anything? Of course it does, but it's totally free for the users. Where does the money come from? Money comes from sponsorship. We have different sponsorship levels ranging from $2,500 per year up to $25,000 per year for the diamond sponsorship. If you are interested, please let us know or contact us at sponsorship@peeringdb.com. This is a list of sponsors for PeeringDB, and luckily, due to the rich sponsorship, PeeringDB is also well funded, and we try to have refund or funding for at least 2 years to be able to run PeeringDB solidly. So next is to let you know how the feature workflow looks like. I already told you the product committee takes all the requests, and then we get back and forth with the users who made the request to see what the feature really is. And from there out, either if it's only a small feature, a bug, then it's directly implemented. If it's a bigger one, we get a request for a quote from our development partner, which currently is 20C. Then the budget gets approved from the board and will be implemented. We try to do one or a release every 1 to 2 months. And on the right-hand side, you see the releases we are doing this year. The latest release currently is 2.11.0, which we released last year, not last week, certainly. So what I would now concentrate on is the internationalization, and on this one, the security update to address issues for the security audit. And why did we do the security audit or source code audit? We did a source code audit because we want to make the PeeringDB code open source. For that, we conducted a source code audit, and the overall finding from the audit was that it's quite good. There were some minor bugs which are currently fixed, and we decided to make the code open source, and we will release it in 2 weeks' time and under the BSD 2 clause. That will mean everyone who is interested in is able to use the PeeringDB source code, and as well also augment it. The next is, what we also did is currently PeeringDB is mainly available in 2 languages. The first language, of course, was English. The second language, which we already implemented, is Portuguese. And what we are currently working on is having PeeringDB in more languages, as many languages as possible. And that's where we also need your help, because the translation of PeeringDB is also done by voluntary work and by the users. Because what it needs is, of course, an understanding of networking and also an understanding of how PeeringDB works. And these slides are taken from a colleague, from a Japanese colleague, especially the Japanese or are more bound to their language as perhaps in Western Europe, where English is more seen. And so what they did, they had a committee, and they were really eager to have PeeringDB in their own language. So everything also goes via Github. So we already opened a Github issue on internationalization last year and sketched out how it would look like. And this is how in detail it looks like. You just say, hello, I want to have PeeringDB in my own language. Then the files are generated for you, the local files, and then you do the translation. It's checked in again and is visible at better.peeringdb.com. So currently, we are working on these languages. In green are highlighted the languages which are found in Switzerland. So German already is implemented and is available. The French is working on, Italian is same. I'm not sure whether we will once have also PeeringDB in Romansh. If you speak Romansh, if you think it's worthwhile or it's just a hobby, I guess it would be really funny to see it also in Romansh. Schweizerdeutsch also. I do not know, is it a language? I don't think so. But it's not. It's a dialect, or maybe there's also a local for that dialect. I'm not sure. If it's available for Schweizerdeutsch, then of course you're also invited to have it in Schweizerdeutsch. So this is on, if you go on better.peeringdb.com, you already can see how it looks like in German. If your locale is different, then perhaps you only see the English version or the Portuguese version. Or maybe, I'm not sure which other languages are already checked out, but just try it. So I guess PeeringDB, as you have seen from the tickets, we see it from the usage, people like it, and I guess it's even more useful if you are able to have it in your own language. Not everyone is working in an international organization, not everyone is that fluent with English, and having it in your own language definitely is a benefit. Yeah, and that's more or less from me. I'm happy to take questions. Any remarks? And I should not forget to mention, it's not only important to have a PeeringDB record, but also to keep it up to date. For example, if you add your network to another exchange, please also update. If you withdraw from an exchange, also withdraw it from PeeringDB, and so on and so on. I guess having a presentation right after lunch is a hard task. So thank you.
Thank you, Arnold.